Welcome to the Deep Dive, your express lane to insights, where we sift through stacks of information to unearth those crucial nuggets you need. When we talk about architecture, most people immediately think, steel, concrete, complex engineering, a purely technical discipline. But what if the greatest architects, the ones who create truly timeless, soul-stirring spaces, are tapping into something far more ancient, something deeply artistic? Today, we're tearing down that misconception. We want to reveal why art appreciation isn't just a nice-to-have for architects, but maybe absolutely foundational to their craft. We've been diving deep into excerpts from a source specifically on art appreciation's role in architectural education, and, well, our mission is to uncover why this appreciation is considered utterly crucial for anyone studying the built environment. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. The material we reviewed really underscores that art appreciation is fundamentally about understanding, valuing, and connecting with the emotional power of art. It means looking beyond the surface, right? At elements like form, color, composition, texture, symbolism, meaning. And always considering those vital historical and cultural contexts.
Absolutely.
And the core argument here, this appreciation isn't merely beneficial, it's presented as necessary in the study of architecture.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how our source immediately clarifies that architecture isn't just about structural integrity or, engineering calculations. It's profoundly both a technical and an artistic discipline.
Okay.
Think of it like a musician who understands acoustics perfectly, but maybe lacks a sense of melody.
Right, you get sound, but not music.
Exactly. You might get a technically flawless sound, but not a moving piece. So to truly excel, an architect has to master not only the science of building, but also the art of design, creating spaces that don't just stand, but speak.
That makes sense.
This dual nature is precisely why art appreciation becomes so fundamental.
That distinction really resonates. So to really dig into how this plays out, what are the main ways our source outlines that art appreciation directly benefits architects?
Well, the first crucial benefit highlighted is enhancing visual literacy and aesthetic sensibility.
Visual literacy, like learning to read images.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Learning to read visual information, understand what you're seeing beyond just recognizing objects, and aesthetic sensibility. That's about cultivating a refined appreciation for beauty and harmonious design.
Okay.
When you learn to analyze a painting or a sculpture or even just a piece of pottery, you're training your eye.
How so?
You learn to discern how elements like balance, proportion, harmony, rhythm, contrast, how they create a unified, impactful whole. It's not just about seeing pretty things, it's about seeing let's say, the invisible forces at play.
Invisible force.
Yeah, like the tension, the gravitational pull, the psychological weight of a form. Architects need that same intuitive understanding of how elements feel in a space, not just how they look on a blueprint.
Right, the feeling of a space. So once you've trained your eye to truly see these elements, what does that unlock next for an architect? Because great design isn't just about what is, but what could be, right?
Exactly.
Does developing an artistic eye also fundamentally change how an architect thinks? Could it even lead to solutions they wouldn't find through purely technical approaches?
Oh, absolutely. And that leads directly to the second key benefit mentioned, encouraging creative thinking.
Okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, well, exposure to diverse art forms and movements truly stimulates creativity in a unique way. Imagine an architect who's brilliant with blueprints, technically amazing, but has never really visited a great art gallery or truly considered how light and shadow play on a sculpture.
What kind of spaces would they create or fail to create, maybe?
That's the question, isn't it? When you study how artists throughout history solved visual problems or expressed complex ideas through unique forms and materials, think Picasso breaking down perspective or Calder making steel dance, it directly encourages architects to innovate in their own problem solving. These are skills that translate directly into conceiving new solutions, expressing intricate ideas for the built environment. It opens up new pathways.
That's a powerful argument for thinking outside the purely structural box. And it's not just about what's new, is it? It's also about understanding where we come from. The source mentions this next point, providing cultural and historical context.
Right. And this raises an important question, really. How can you design for the future if you don't understand the past? Or create for a specific culture if you don't grasp its nuances? Great architecture, much like great art, so often reflects its era, its prevailing culture, its underlying philosophy.
You give an example.
Sure, think about the soaring arches of Gothic cathedrals. They spoke of spiritual aspiration, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Or how minimalist Japanese gardens reflect a whole philosophy of simplicity and contemplation. So by understanding the evolution of art, its movements, its symbolism, its responses to societal shifts, you gain a deeper insight.
Insight into what exactly?
Into how architectural styles and ideas developed, and how they were influenced by these broader sociocultural transformations. It's about seeing the threads of human history woven through both art and the buildings we inhabit.
So it's about understanding the language of design through history,
Mm-hmm.
but also mastering the language to communicate your own designs,
Exactly.
which leads us to a very practical application: improving design expression.
Precisely. Art appreciation can significantly improve an architect's ability to communicate their design intentions visually. Think about it. Architects don't just build. They first have to envision and represent.
Through sketches, models.
Right. Sketches, models, renderings, all of it. Learning how artists use line, shade, perspective to convey emotion or scale that directly supports the effective use of these tools. It's about more than just drafting lines. It's about conveying a compelling vision, making your blueprint come alive for clients, for collaborators.
Making it understandable, relatable.
Yes.
And it's not just about what a building looks like or how it functions structurally, but how it feels. The fifth point really emphasizes this: developing emotional and human-centered design. By human-centered design, we mean creating spaces that truly resonate with and serve the people who use them, right? Not just function technically.
This is so critical because architecture is fundamentally for people. It's not just for machines or abstract concepts.
Right.
Appreciating art helps you understand how environments affect human emotions, human behavior. When you look at a piece of art, say, a vibrant, chaotic street scene versus a serene landscape, and you feel something distinct, whether it's joy or unease or awe, you begin to understand the mechanics of how visual elements evoke those responses. You see how light, color, form can guide the eye, guide the mood.
I see.
And this knowledge is absolutely key for architects. They're designing spaces meant to be lived in, experienced, and deeply felt by people, not just occupied.
That makes a lot of sense. Finally, our source explores how this all ties into fostering interdisciplinary understanding.
That's right. Architecture isn't some isolated field floating on its own. No. It often overlaps significantly with painting, sculpture, installation art, other visual arts. Think of the way a building's facade might resemble a sculptural relief.
Okay, yeah.
Or how the flow of a public space could be influenced by choreography even. Learning art appreciation gives you a broader intellectual framework. It encourages you to see connections between seemingly disparate disciplines.
Connecting the dots.
Exactly. And this ultimately leads to a more holistic design approach. An architect can draw inspiration and insight from a much wider range of creative endeavors. They see the whole cultural tapestry their work fits into.
So what does this all mean? Wrapping this up, our deep dive into these sources makes it abundantly clear that for architects, understanding art isn't just about, appreciating beauty.
No, it's much deeper.
It's about shaping meaningful, functional, and truly impactful spaces. Art appreciation trains the mind to see deeply, to think creatively, and to design thoughtfully. It really seems like an absolutely essential component of architectural education based on this.
It really does. And maybe for the listener, beyond just architecture students,
Yeah.
consider how your own appreciation for art, in whatever form you enjoy, might subtly influence how you understand and interact with the built environments all around you.
How so?
Well, are you more attuned to the flow and purpose of a public space after visiting a gallery? Maybe. Do the textures or colors of a building resonate differently after you've really contemplated a painting? How might your personal aesthetic sensibility, maybe honed by art, shape your entire experience of the world you inhabit every single day? Whether you're a designer or simply someone living within these constructed environments, something to think about.